Hello? I'm not sure you'll see me over this because I'm so short. You might need a soapbox. Good afternoon, morning. We're kind of on the verge of lunchtime. I want you just for a moment to imagine a comment left on social media at midnight that turns into a life-transforming conversation for somebody. Could your next social media post have the same effect? What about if your church's social media feed became something more of a lighthouse beacon of the gospel to people in amongst the digital noise, rather than just another billboard that just shares more notices of what's going on? Today, I want to talk to you about the value and the opportunity of digital evangelism, and I want to show you how you too can create your own strategy to get out there and reach people right where they're at. We're faced with the most incredible opportunity, and I want to unpack that with you today. In my role as community manager, I like to chat, as you can kind of probably tell. And it's one of my favourite things. I get to chat with ministry leaders, church leaders, and find out what they're doing, what their challenges are with the digital space. And just recently, I was chatting to a ministry leader, and she told me this most incredible story. She was like, Charlotte, we've had 3 people turn up at our church in this past month. And I was like, okay, great. And she's like, yep, they just want to know about Jesus. They want to get on the Alpha course. And we haven't even been engaged with them at all. They've all turned up completely independently. And I was like, amazing. And she's like, guess what? They've all found content online that's told them about Jesus that we didn't even put out. And they're wanting to know more about Jesus. You see, the opportunity to disrupt this space for Jesus is right there for us to engage with. So as said, I'm from CV. So who is CV? Well, I often think we're probably one of the best globally kept secrets. I bet many of you have never even heard of us. So let me tell you what we do. We're a global evangelism ministry, and we seek to introduce people to Jesus and help you, the church, to do the same. Let me tell you a little bit about the scale of which we're talking. Just last year alone, in one of our projects, we introduced 421 million people to Jesus. This resulted in over 180,000 salvations, over 6,500 baptisms. This was in 130 unreached people groups, and we're working in virtually every country around the world. And we want to share all of our wisdom, insights, resources with you, the church, for free. We want to help you do this thing, which is absolutely incredible. You see, there's too many churches that are missing out on digital evangelism opportunities. Just imagine the broken person from your local community turning up to your church's social media feed. They've just got a divorce, their husband's left them, they're bankrupt. Are they seeing the gospel come alive on your church's social media feed? Are they finding the hope that they so long for? Or are we simply missing the opportunity to reach them right where they are? Just recently, Carey Nieuwhof made this incredible statement that's quite startling. He said, evangelism is on life support. I mean, that's a big, bold statement. Why has he made that as a statement? Well, you see, in 2015, they did some research, and they found with pastors that were self-reporting that 13% of them had an effective evangelism ministry. But in 2023, this dropped to just 1%. And that's based on some Barna research. That is startling. 1%. We really need to redefine evangelism, put it back on the front pages, and start to reach people because they are open and ready for us to reach them. And I'm really excited to see if we can just nudge that curve of 1%, keep moving it up. How can we digitally disrupt this space and take the opportunity? You see, we need to move from notice board feeds to more evangelistic feeds. We need to use that opportunity to tell people that Jesus loves them. The timely message of the gospel can sit there right on our social media feeds. Let me tell you some key facts. Okay, so the time spent online per day, the average person spends over 6 hours and 32 minutes per day online. We've got a captive audience. We've then got people stepping into decentralized communities that they're really happy to engage with us. Over 90% of people are regularly engaging in online groups. Great, because we can step them through to in-person eventually. What about the availability of people engaging through WhatsApp and other medias, social media, direct messages, all these opportunities where people are happy to have a first touch and start to have a conversation with us? And then what about where are they seeking these answers to faith? In the recent Talking Jesus research, if you look, there's 36% of people are looking online for their questions to faith in Google and YouTube. That's higher than any other source. They're looking in the online space for answers to the questions that they have. Wow. And I love also, just a final fact to throw in from the Talking Jesus research, that we as CV were part of the partnership for that. 1 in 3 non-Christians researched as part of that research would be open to going to church if they were invited. So we've got a captive audience who are happy to engage with us online. They're open to being invited, and we've just got an opportunity like never before to step into this space. I'm really excited to share with you a story to show you that this works. So this is a story by a guy called Owen. He's a pastor we'd worked with, and let us just unpack this video. It should play, hopefully.
One of the best stories that we've had so far is of a young woman. It started with an email that I got in saying that she was interested in perhaps finding a church. And we had a bit of correspondence back and forth, but then I heard nothing, and I thought that was that. A couple of months after that, I meet this new face on a Sunday night, and quickly I realised, hey, this is you from the emails. And she said, yeah, how about we meet up for a coffee tomorrow? I'd love to hear more of your story. And it was just amazing, actually, to hear of the place where she'd been, living a very reclusive life for the best part of 10 years. And then she stumbled across our video, and it was just such a privilege to be a part of that story. And she's been coming since, and coming alive, and connecting with people, and becoming a part of the community here. And it's been such a joy.
Wow, so that's a story of someone's life has been transformed by the gospel through simply watching a video online. But these stories aren't unique to us. We had a pastor in France who actually ran some campaigns, sent out some content to a local area where he was about to plant a church. And he engaged with somebody who he was chatting to over email. He met up with them for a coffee, and they became a Christian before he'd even planted a church in that area. We had another pastor that we were talking to, and he had a church of 50 people, and every day he would read his Bible, and then he would just turn on his Facebook Live, and within a few weeks he was putting just £2 once per week behind one of his posts where he was unpacking what he'd just read in his Bible, and was regularly receiving over 1,000 views on each video. I mean, that's incredible, just the power of that consistency. Even his Amazon delivery driver came up to him and was like, I've been watching your videos. The power of this space is just incredible. And what about Ayan? You can check out Ayan's video on our website, but Ayan lives in Somalia, a place where we can't actually very easily get the gospel into. And yet she was able to one day scroll through her phone, came across some Christian content. Off the back of that, she went through a chatbot, which meant she could explore the gospel in the confines of her own space on her phone. She was then connected to a pioneer. Ayan is now a Christian. She's been baptized, and she's serving the Lord out in Somalia. You see, the digital offers us an opportunity to reach people even further away than we could imagine. So wherever God has called us to, we have the opportunities to reach people, which is exciting. So today, I want to help you pull together your own digital evangelism blueprint. I want every one of you to be able to go away and be able to put something in place, a place where you could start small and continue to build on that muscle. It might be some people in your church that you might be able to engage with to do this. Is there some younger people in church that are digital natives that you can say, hey guys, we really want to embrace this space. You're evangelists, come on, let's do this. There's an opportunity. So what's the first thing we want you to do? Well, the very first thing I want you to do is go away and actually know who your audience is. Who is the audience that God is calling you to? It might be your local community. It might be a specific age group, demographic, whatever that may be. Choose them. Be intentional about it. It's nice that some people want to just reach everybody and anybody, but actually intentionality comes through when we start to create content. From there, I want you to get to know them a little bit as well. Use things like Google Analytics and research reports. Where do these people hang out? What do they enjoy? What life challenges are they facing? Get to know your audience well. The next thing I want you to do from there is pick your platform, okay? Choose a platform where you want to engage with these people and pick it wisely as well. So often we start with the place that we already know maybe. So if some of you are already on Facebook and you already know some of the features there, that's a great place to start. Okay, for some of you, you might want to step out the boat a bit and try some bit further afield, like Discord communities, Roblox communities, Twitch, all of these different places. Where is it God has called you to meet these people? The one thing I would say is, as well, is once you know your audience, double check that they actually hang out on this platform. So, for example, it's nice that you might want to reach Gen Z on Facebook. Many of them might have an account, but they don't really hang out there. So go for something more like Snapchat or TikTok to engage with them. Or again, if you've got some younger people in your congregation, do they want to hang out on Roblox and just set up a church and engage with people on that way? So pick your platform and get to know the features on there as well. The next thing you need to do is define your purpose. What are you actually wanting to achieve? Just like any evangelistic outreach. Are you wanting to engage with conversations? Are you just wanting to spread the message of the hope? Are you wanting to invite them to maybe an alpha course or an upcoming event? What is the objective of what you're trying to do? But also have a little bit of a think at this point as well about budget. If you've got no budget, it's absolutely fine. There's still things we can do at this point, so don't worry. And there's also other things like Google grants that you can apply for, particularly if you're not for profit, which gives you free money to kind of basically spend on Facebook marketing. So I can go into that separately with some of you if you want to look at that. The next thing we want you to do is create your content. So obviously you need the right content that matches the right platform. So for example, if you're on Instagram, maybe it's carousels, is it reels, is it stories? If you're on TikTok, maybe you might want to do a funny dance. However you want to put that together, make sure it matches your audience and the platform and pull that together. Now I've got a few examples for you here. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the videos to work on them. But the very first one is a girl called Carrie Adenagan. Carrie's a Paralympian. And we simply sat her down in front of a camera, nice bit of lighting, and she told her story, her testimony. And then we spliced that up into little pieces that we can share regularly, but then people can go through to see the longer version of that. Reels, you can put text over a simple image, and the text can just be scrolling through. And this has been one of our very successful introductions to Jesus. So simple, no faces needed, just some simple gospel stories and messages can go on there. Then you'll see a video here by our friend Mari from Alpha. Mari literally just pulls out a camera, puts it on a tripod, and unpacks a scripture on it. It's a very simple but effective way to just convey the message. And the great thing is, it also has a delete button. So if you do something wrong, you can delete it a few times till you get the right version. But it's not a high cost. And finally, we've got a gospel message, and if I would have been able to play it you would have been able to see this is a fully AI person. And we actually get it speaking in a localized language to be able to engage with some people. And obviously with ethics, we put that up front, but we make fully AI people. We've got animated versions as well and all those kind of things. So there's a whole breadth of opportunities. You could write carousels. There's so many different things you can do to make them evangelistic. The next thing you need to do is share. Get your message out there. How can you share this content further and wider? Are there people in your congregation you go, hey guys, for this next month we're going to put out a gospel video every couple of weeks. Can you just share it on your stories? Share it to your local Facebook groups. Share it to your friends. What a great way to engage people in your community, especially if you've got a lower budget. If you've got a bit more budget, you can put paid marketing behind it to boost it to more people. As you heard earlier, that pastor at Blackburn who put just £2 a week behind a post, and that's how he boosted his audience. It doesn't have to be big mega bucks of thousands and thousands of pounds. It can be very small or no budget at all. You just have to be creative. The next thing that I think people often forget is to engage. Now, this is where me as a community manager, I'm very passionate about it. Often people like kind of dump the content and then do a runner. Actually, it's really important that we still start to talk to people, just like we would in evangelism. You wouldn't just go up to someone in the street and be like, Jesus loves you, and then runs away, would you? You'd actually want to have a conversation with them. So talk to them in the comments, direct message them on occasions where you've got a policy in place for that. Follow-up email or text sequences are things you can put in place. Or we've even got chatbots that we've used, and they've been highly successful. And if you want to find out more about that, check out our website, and we tell you all about how to pull those together. And then finally, review. Review that content. It's not going to always work. Bit of a tip. But just review it, check the numbers. How's it gone? What feeling did you get from that? There's no formula for a viral piece of content. It's just continually testing and reviewing. And if you check out any content that anyone puts out, the very first piece they put out is probably always the worst piece it's ever going to be. Because as they develop, you get muscle. You start to see what your audience actually respond to. So be consistent. Continue to put that out. Get wise counsel around you, supporting you, giving you feedback. You see, all of this is really important to help you just take that step by step. There's no one-size-fits-all package for any of you. You've all got a different audience, a different passion, a different platform where you're going to be. But we at CV, we want to resource you to help you step into that space with confidence. So what we're going to do today is we've got an availability with our team at the stand, and you can book some time with them to create your own bespoke digital evangelism strategy if you want to take that opportunity. And the first few people who do sign up for that, we've got a few little giveaways for you as well. So do connect with the stand or text Blueprint to the QR code above there, and we'll be happy to work with you on that. We've also then got our website for any of you that do want to check that out. It's a brand new website, so there's only so much on there so far, but we've got loads more coming with all of our knowledge, wisdom, and advice that we want to share for you. Again, I say for free. There's no catches. Check it out. And we've also created a very bespoke landing page for you guys here at Ekklesia that will get circulated after the conference, where we've curated some specific trainings that we think will be relevant to all of you here. And then just one quick plug before we move on to some questions to reflect on. You've got our flyers in the packs. We've also got Digital Day coming up in November, on the 6th of November. If anyone's interested in tech and innovation and how that meets the new frontiers of what we're trying to do, pushing evangelism out, we've been working in NFTs, as I say, AI, virtual reality. Do register for interest on that. It's online and here in London. And we also run Yes He Is, which is a free faith sharing. We've got an app coming out at the end of March, and so do check that out as well. But I just want to encourage you all, how can you change your social media feed from being something that's notice board to really changing the digital space for Jesus? Okay, so I hope that's helpful to you today. So just a few questions to reflect on around your tables. So we've got, how evangelistic is your church's current online presence? What fears or obstacles prevent you from effectively using digital spaces for evangelism? And what one change or new idea from today's presentation do you personally feel inspired to implement? Thank you.